Good evening. My screen tells me that we are now live. Welcome to the last event to be held on an event page. And here comes Bill from Belize.
How's it going, Andrew?
I'm doing fine, sir. And you?
Not bad, except I have my camera looking out the window into the darkness, which may be the optimal view, but
Well, that is for individual judgment. Okay, let me get
sure.
some of these invitations out of the way. Okay, Scott and Lowell Ann, I've sent you both invitations. I guess the question is really, what do we talk about? The reason I set this thing up was just to be live on air at 7 p.m., which is midnight Greenwich Mean Time, so that when it goes away, I'm on live. I want to see what actually happens when they stop the thing.
Sure,
You
understood.
know, I have no agenda planned or anything. If any of you've got questions or want to, whatever, it's basically your floor. Hello, Lowell Ann.
Hello, Andrew. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Lolan, how are you?
I'm pretty good, actually.
Very good.
Yeah.
Quite happy.
Scott, long time
Quite
no.
happy for a party. I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Scott.
Hi, Andrew.
I got to go over here
Hi,
and do
Bill.
some muting. I've got things open on 3 different things here going. Okay, now I've only got one where sound's coming out. But it looks like it's picking up over on the YouTube side also good. Let's see if let me see if it's doing a test of a comment over there. And bingo, and yep, it's feeding over on the YouTube side too as well. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't have any agenda planned. Um, we've been searching for a replacement. There have been 4 major ones mentioned. None of them are as good as the event page itself, mainly because the event page fits so many different use cases. The 4 methods that I personally researched and everything, every one of them is good for a particular use case, but you move on to the next use case and it's not good for that particular use case at all. So it's sort of, you got to be familiar with, I guess, what you want to do, where you want to contact your people, and exactly how you want to go about collecting the comments. The promotion end of it, really, I don't see that much changing because you were promoting your event page before. You will continue to promote whatever or wherever method it is using the same techniques you use to promote the event page, or at least that's the way I look at it. There may be other things that interfere with doing that in certain use cases. I don't know. Like embedding on a website, that can go one of 2 ways. You can either use your website to attract people to your community, or you can use your community to direct people to your website. It just depends on which way you want the traffic to flow.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I've been hosting on my website for a long time. So the community is where people seem to kind of gather and then go over to my website.
Yeah, and that works great for a lot of people, and other people use the website just to collect stuff and then give them the community link, and say, we'll do the show here, but we'll continue the discussion in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said,
my model is different because I don't get a whole lot of engagement from the outside. What I try to do is get as many people inside the
Mhm.
the green room as I can fit. That
Yeah.
seems to be what works the best for me.
Well, basically, that's what I do.
Yeah.
You know, because I've got no website. You know, and I'm not promoting a product. I guess the product I'm promoting is the community itself, but it's just, it's by word of mouth. I don't do a lot of public posting about it and everything, although every once in a while I will. Today I did do a public post about it because if you haven't been over yet, I have added a new category in the community strictly for YouTube live event questions, so that sort of keep them focused and everything. And I did a public posting about that. If anybody was having problems with the changeover, come over and ask questions. Try and grab a couple of new members too.
But you're using you're using both a community and a collection, aren't you? You're posting quite a bit to a collection.
Okay, yeah, but now the collections are only like if you use the form for an upcoming event that I've got, people fill that out, and then on the day I do the daily summary. That's a collection. And then any member of user to user that uploads a video to YouTube or records something on YouTube, I subscribe to every member's channel, and I get a notification you got a new video up. I do a summary of what videos were posted that day, but those are the only two real collections I've got going. They're very narrowly focused.
Yeah.
You know. And I may start another collection of YouTube live event help tips. I'm playing with that in the back of my mind, but I haven't decided yet whether I want to go that far yet or not. No. Scott, I'm interested in what you think about this change.
Well, hi, Andrew. Hi, everyone. I come from the old school of when Google Plus and Hangouts were a community unto themselves. So there were, 150, 175 of us, of whom there might have been 40 or 50 who were really core people. And the Hangouts and the event page weren't only a means to the end, they were the end in itself. And that's where a lot of the friendships that didn't exist, quite frankly, 5 years or 4 years ago were forged. And these will be people who will know and care about each other for the rest of our lives. So I think that there was a golden age of Hangouts and Hangouts on Air. And this might either, I don't think it'll exactly mark the end of the era, but we're certainly transitioning into whatever's going to be going next. So I'm very proud and pleased and honored to have been part of the, I feel like I was the second wave, and Andrew, you and Ronnie Bincer and the Martin Shervingtons of this world, the Kathy Browns of this world, they were the first wave. So we were all kind of early adopters in any event. So that's my memory, and that's what really means a lot to me for today.
I
Yeah,
always
but
thought of myself as the third wave. Or I came in right at the very end of the second wave or something.
too many more waves and I'm going to get seasick. No, I actually, when this whole thing got started, I didn't know anybody on Google except for two people. Pat Ridgely Erickson, Joe Myrtle, and Russ. And I had known them from AOL genealogy days years ago. And I had met Russ in 2010 out in Provo, Utah, when Ancestry had us out there. But all these other online friendships have developed strictly through the Hangout on Air thing, and quite frankly, I've got more friends here on this than I have in town. I rarely see, I don't leave the property. I might leave out of my yard twice a month. I'm the hermit of hermitage, and my sister's also one. But like I say, my life is here. And that sounds sad, but it's really not, because it's so much richer from knowing all these people. I mean, people from India and London and Australia, and that I would never have a chance to get to talk to and believe, you know.
And Canada.
Yeah, Canada. Yeah, in fact, I know 3 people up in Canada. That's odd,
Oh.
By the way, I haven't seen Bruce in a while. Where is he? Bruce McCallum. Bruce McCallum. He's a realtor up in.
Oh yeah, I saw Bruce this past weekend. He is so busy with a very, very active real estate. I mean, there's such a boom happening here. He hasn't got time to breathe.
I see. Well, next time you see him, tell him I said hi.
I certainly will.
Me too.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Bill?
Well, I was going to say that was kind of my experience with Hangouts too. Is when I moved to Belize, I obviously moved to a country that had very little internet, let alone anybody who knew anything about Google or social media at all. So for me, it started out kind of as a hobby. I don't know why I decided that Google was going to be my first choice, but I'm really glad it was, because I found communities and I found people. I found communities like User to User and many other people that did Hangouts on Air. Basically taught me what I know. Not that I know everything or I know a lot, but I know enough to do my social media now. And so that was my experience, is that Hangouts on Air for a long time was my education system.
Mine too. Let me tell you.
Well, and it continues to be.
Right.
And then there's another thing, and that is that Google and Hangouts and the entire internet and social media scene nowadays have opened up an entire world for entrepreneurs and small business people, for individuals who want to bootstrap their way into doing something. I've seen just lots of people, and Lowell, and you can attest to this as well, who have just been liberated by the technology that's now available out there.
Absolutely. But I still find that locally, almost everybody I know is over there on Facebook.
Yep.
So
I think that's our common experience, isn't it?
yeah, right.
Yeah, and I share that experience with you, but I think, and I hesitate saying this, but I think it's part of the generation that we belong to and the people that we associate with. Like, I found that in particular is not really into live streaming, but they'll certainly go and watch a YouTube video, and they're not so much into engagement. Like, there's a lot of us of our age that are on here, but there's so many more that are scared to show their face in public, or maybe say the wrong thing and then be shamed on Facebook and Google forever because it'll always be there. And I don't know, that's kind of what my experience is with the older generation. I know there's a lot of us out there that are using it, but I think so many more that are maybe scared of the technology and probably gravitate to Facebook because that's what their kids teach them.
Yeah, I could never get into Facebook because, quite frankly, the people I was running into over there just weren't my type of people. Most of them were not interested in serious conversation. They wanted to talk about what shoes they had bought, what they'd had for dinner, and I'm not condemning everybody on Facebook. Everybody's not like that. But the majority of the people that I was running into were. And then when Google came along and you could actually hold serious conversations, I just, I fell into that, and I've been here ever since, Now, there are some private groups over on Facebook that I do belong to, but they're very small. They have 10 or 15 people at the most in them, and they keep it private like that,
Well, And that's the difference, is that you can't just get on and be in the general news stream. I think you have to go to the groups which are equal to communities here, or to the pages which are kind of equal to collections, and find people specific to what you want to talk about. Like I found on Facebook, I found 3 or 4 great groups just on sharing information and beliefs. So as a contributor to those groups, I've built my Facebook page, you know, exponentially compared to what I did having a Google. I mean, I get followers on my collection, but I don't seem to get the same engagement as that concentrated requirement for people to get specific information.
Yeah.
So it's important, I think, to use it the right way. You can't just go on and post publicly and hope to find the right people. It's the same as it is on Google. I mean, that was the whole reason for collections, I think, because somebody might follow me today because I put up a clever joke, but then unfollow me next week because I put up a whole pile of social media stuff that they weren't interested in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, according to my clocks, we have gone a minute past when the event page should end.
Really?
We should now not be on a Google Plus Hangout. We should now be on a YouTube Live event. If, like I say, if my times are right. Now, I know that there's a place where you can see certain top contributors and stuff, and how often they post and everything. I know that changes at 7 p.m. on the last night of the month, every month. I asked, and they said Google ran on Greenwich Mean Time. So I'm assuming that this changeover, when they say September the 12th, I'm assuming they mean midnight of the 11th, which would be 7 p.m. Central. So we've either gone past the time and we're okay, or my calculations are wrong again, which would be no big thing. But just to let you know, we're alive and kicking.
Well, and that's my big curiosity is you know, after Google turns off the tap or whatever, I'm dying to see what's left.
That's me, because I went and I scheduled an event for New Year's Eve 2017, New Year's Eve 2020, and New Year's Eve 2030. I want to see what happened to those events. That they said you'd have to reschedule them, but I just want to see what happens. Yeah.
So, Andrew, does this mean that if we're not cut off right now, you're going to stay on the air for another 10 or 12 hours?
No. Unfortunately, I have to end this thing at 1:15 because I've got some family obligations. I was lucky, although I have to say somebody called me out for scheduling this thing on 9/11. I'm sorry, I didn't plan it that way. You know, that's just the way.
Well,
I won't say that. I'll get in trouble. I will not say anything about cookies and crumbling. I just won't. You know somebody will make something of it.
Well, somebody's always going to complain. Had you done it yesterday, I would have complained you did it on St. George's K Day here in Belize, which was a holiday.
There's a bunch of people sitting out there in the comment stream, Andrew.
Yeah, I know. Russ says, you're still right here. See, now, and this is one thing. I probably, had I been any other host, I would have tried to do Comment Tracker to bring those things in. I haven't used Comment Tracker in 2 years, and I was not about to try and mess it up, you know, and mess this thing up, you know.
I was on something yesterday. Roland did a piece where we were using the what do you call that? The comment.
Oh, the unified chat.
Unified chat. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, we were trying that one out yesterday, but.
It's got its uses. I can definitely see its uses.
Yeah.
In fact, I found a weird one. If you go ahead and use it, or at least initiate it, but don't actually use it. Just the mere fact that you set it up, then you can go over to the YouTube side and make live comments during the thing that save instead of in the live chat box that goes away. Apparently, any third-party tool overrides the live chat and brings up comments that actually save. It's only if you set it up on the YouTube side, start it from the YouTube side, that's when you get your live thing. But any third-party app, it seems you get comments instead of that live chat box if you go over to the YouTube page.
Well, there, I just on that little button, and it says enter the room. Please fill out this field. Conversation name. Now, what's the name of this room, I wonder?
Oh, you have this from I don't know that you could use the unified chat in a Google Hangout.
Well,
that's something I didn't test.
That's what I was using in Roland's piece yesterday.
Yeah, but Roland set up the unified chat thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he didn't start. He started it from the unified page.
I see.
He didn't start it. He didn't initiate it after.
There's a piece I didn't know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it gets confusing, and there are 3 buttons over there, and I've tried the yellow one to start the Hangout on there. I haven't tried the green one for the video call or the start live thing then, just right away. So I don't know what those do, but I do know that if you use that yellow button, then you don't actually have to make any comments in the unified chat. If you go over and look at the watch page on the YouTube side, you get comments that you can add that save instead of that live chat thing that goes away.
Really? But somebody has to go into the unified chat website.
Yeah, it has to be initiated from the unified chat website. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just Roland just directed me towards setting up the app within the Hangout. So I was seeing all the comments, and we could see people's comments from over on the YouTube side, but the comments that I was entering came out as a different color because I was only using the unified chat. So was very weird.
Yeah, it all gets a little weird. I tried to use unified chat on what's that other one? The one Craig Long did. Watch YouTube Together. I tried to use the two of them. You talk about a mess. Forget it.
On user to user. So if you say something's a mess, I don't bother going in.
Yeah,
You're saving a lot of us a lot of heartache, Andrew.
I'll play with something so long, but when it gets to the point where I'm leaning over and banging my head against this wall, that's time to quit. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, I predict that in internet time there are going to be many changes. There may have been an internal power struggle between YouTube and Google, and maybe they had a clash of cultures or something. But now it appears as if maybe it appears as if the lines of demarcation have been established, and there just may be wonderful new things that are in the future for us, both on the G Plus side and on the YouTube side. And Andrew, 1 year from now, I anticipate that you will be bringing us all back together with whatever the new phoenix is arising out of whatever ashes there may be come tonight.
I expect probably within the next 6 months you will see them making YouTube a bit more social. They will be bringing in some things that were from the event page and from the Google Plus side and everything. The whole thing is, you got to remember two things. One, events. They were never designed to show videos. That was added later.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie hijacked them.
Yeah, that was added later. Secondly, YouTube was never meant to do live streaming. It was a place where you recorded your videos and you uploaded them for people to watch. When it started, there was no live streaming capabilities at all. So you've got this one product that they molded and twisted into something else. And then you've got this other thing that they did over here, and now they're mashing them both together. You know what that's going to do? They're going to have to go, eventually they're going to have to almost go back to square one and rewrite everything, because you can only make so many changes to certain things until they start internally bumping heads with different sides of the same thing. And that's when, you just have to start over again. And I expect that to happen within 5 years.
And you heard it here, folks, first.
Yep. Oh, there's Michael. Hello, Michael. Hang on.
So Michael has been commenting on YouTube. I think we need to have two windows open, one for the event and now one for YouTube.
Well, has he been commenting over on YouTube? Because I'm looking at it on YouTube. Let me refresh the page and see what's happened here. Boom, ba-boom, 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 ba-boom.
Interesting.
I'm not seeing any. Oh, there he is. Now I wonder why that's down there. Okay. I thought it fed to the top. Okay. Yes, there are tons of this. What I'm going to have to do eventually is take and pop those out and copy them onto this, and then copy these back onto that, so I've got all the things on both sides. And I'm sorry I didn't get more people into the film strip, but I've got a niece that is knocking on my bedroom door, so I'm going to have to call it quits because we've got to get in the car and go somewhere. I thank everybody for being here, and like I say, we survived the change if I got the timing right. We'll know later whether this thing comes up or not in my past events, and I will let you all know. Y'all have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow or whenever.
Okay, good night.
Good night.
Good night, Bill. Good
Thanks,
night.
Andrew. Good night, Lolan.
Bye, all.
Bye for now, Scott.
Bye, Scott.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Andrew. Thanks for all you do.
Andrew.
Bye-bye.